This is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Today we're going to talk about preparing your orchard for syntropic design. Here we are in the orchard, and this is the beginning of essentially a permaculture orchard. When Jason was out here the other day, Jason from Sow the Land, we were talking about how this area, this orchard that we have, is an influence of so many different people. And I brought up Stefan Sipkowiak, talked about Mark Shepard, talked about Elaine Ingham. Another person we're going to incorporate into all those people that have been mentors to us is Paul Gauchi. So we're going to take a bunch of different stuff in this area, and it's not like, hey, we're cutting and pasting things that don't work. We're taking the best elements that we think from all these different people, and we incorporate them just as we've done before in the past, and primarily at the place we had in Texas. So what we have right here is going to be we'll call it the genesis of this syntropic design that we did further up. Now, son, why don't you explain in greater detail what that is?
So syntropic design is it's a tropical system of growing trees, and it's just basically growing your annual fruits and vegetables in between your trees until the canopy closes on your trees. So you're just occupying the space in between the trees while you can. Yeah, it's just a temporary design while your trees are growing.
Where did you actually see it?
I first encountered it at Jeff Lawton's Zaytuna farm. There was a syntropic design area where they were experimenting with it.
Man, a few words. Okay, anyway, so all we're going to do is take this cardboard, we're going to lay it down extra thick, and then we got this triple ground mulch here. We could have used wood chips, we could do anything. In fact, we're doing something of an experiment that it's actually going to all unfold over the next few weeks as it applies to the chicken tractor as well. So we're taking this stuff and we're going to see what works best. We're using regular wood chips. We're going to use this triple ground stuff, where there's another type that we're going to try as well.
Eco blend
that seems to be a hodgepodge of all this stuff. We got plenty of mulch around each tree, but we're going to basically join the mulch rings. Now, Michelle has kind of toyed around with the idea of going with annuals in here. Almost certainly it's probably going to be largely perennials, and it's going to make up the guild. The guild is basically like the fingers of your hand, imagine that. All of these support species for every tree that will all be located within here. So some of those species will be things that specifically, let's say, benefit the tree. But nothing in permaculture has just one purpose. All the wonderful things that are going to help this tree out, and that tree and everything else, it's all going to be located right here, partially in this mulch ring that's currently around this tree is ultimately expanding. That's what we're getting down to. So with that said, we're going to lay down a bunch of cardboard, stick this mulch on it, and we're going to put it on thick, and then we'll move on. I'd say maybe 30 minutes of work and a whole bunch of cardboard. And by the way, don't be afraid to go really, really thick on that stuff, especially when you do this stuff, especially when the cardboard can't be too thick, and you want your mulch layer, if you're going to do this, to be about 6 inches thick. Now, in time, we will go ahead and fill in all the gaps in this stuff, but be absolutely sure you check your terrain too, because if you have a terrain feature that washes into a gully and you just put all this stuff down, well, guess where it's going to go? So be absolutely sure of where your contour lines are, and make sure you're not finding yourself in some valley that's just going to pull all your stuff away that you just spent time putting down. Anyway, with that said, all we have to do is about 200 more feet. So we'll get more of this stuff. And frankly, folks, I just think it looks a whole lot better. It's going to be awesome. We're going to deal with weeds, so it's not like total weed suppression here. It's just going to make life easier for us for putting in the perennials or annuals, whatever we decide to use. So hopefully this stuff is helpful. And folks, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The sky's the limit for all you can do with this sort of thing. So until next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion. Because it really is. We'll see you next time.